Hello, my name is Judge Matthews, and my thoughts on excessive bail is just this. The Eighth Amendment prohibits what is deemed to be excessive bail. When we look at the case law that guides the court's decisions on setting a bail amount, is what we're guarding against is the word excessive. And that definition must be defined by the factors that a judge must consider in setting a bail. If in determining bail, a judge does not adhere to those factors to come up with what's reasonable in light of the charges that's facing the individual, then in my mind, it becomes excessive. So as long as a judge is looking at the facts of the case, looking at the type of charge that's been being brought forth, has taken in the 37 factors a judge here in Lake County and this whole state of Illinois must consider in setting a bail, if they fail to take those factors into consideration and weigh it against the allegations that are being brought forth and the circumstance of the individual as far as the ability to pay, then in that regard, the bail is then excessive, and of course, the Eighth Amendment prohibits it, and so do I.
I think the question was, what do I think about excessive bail? And quite frankly, I think excessive bail is wrong, and I think cash bail altogether is wrong. Money should never play a role in determining whether somebody should go to jail or not go to jail. People are innocent until proven guilty, and if we are going to use jails, we should be using them in a very small way. Money shouldn't be playing a factor. We shouldn't be locking up our brothers and sisters because they don't have the money that others may have. And we also know that when we use these cash bonds, this money doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from families. It comes from mainly women, mothers, sisters, partners who are bailing their friends and family out and trying to make ends meet while paying for freedom for the family. It shouldn't happen. We should end excessive bills, and we should end cash bills. We should end it all. We don't need money to make these decisions.
We should have cash bail reform. We need to reform our bail system because we shouldn't be holding people in jail because they're poor. We should be holding people in jail because it's necessary to protect the community. That should be the issue. There are too many people in the Lake County Jail who are simply there because they don't have the money to post. They're being held on a property case or a drug case or even worse, a driving on revoke case. Those people should be out with their families. They should be out in the community. We need to end the cash bail system and focus on whether or not a person is a threat to the community. And if they are a threat to the community, then they shouldn't be able to post $5,000 or $10,000 to get out and then maybe hurt an ex-girlfriend or somebody that they attacked. The question shouldn't be one of money, because that discriminates against the poor. It should be one of safety to the community. Judges should be clear-eyed about this. Judges should be open and transparent about the decisions that they are making and whether it's about safety, and not simply veil all of this or cloak it in foggy systems about money. It doesn't have anything to do with money. It has to do with safety to the community and not discriminating against the poor.
My thoughts on excessive bail and the whole issue there, first off, is that I think it's great that Mr. McIntyre is bringing this subject to light as we look at our whole criminal justice system, and it begins there. Well, we're almost there. It begins with arrest and so forth. But as we look at the financial aspects of it and the equity and equality from an economic perspective, and then across the demographics in this county and in this state, in this country, we know that that the distribution, the amount of bail that's placed upon individuals for nonviolent crimes has a disparate impact, especially on people of color, African Americans, Hispanics, and it's about time, if not for complete criminal reform, which would take ages, we can certainly look at that bail issue on a countywide, from a county perspective, and hopefully from a state and country perspective. But it is one that's long overdue, and one that I certainly am in line with. And again, I thank Mr. McIntyre for having the foresight, the vision, the passion actually, and concern to bring this issue to light.
Since we've been talking about excessive bail, I think the issue is there's no reason to keep people incarcerated by virtue of excessive bail. It keeps them incarcerated, keeps them from their families, keeps them from their jobs, it keeps them from a regular life, needlessly, and quite frankly, it's a very debilitating thing that happens in their life and the lives of their family. My opinion that excessive bail should be done away with. There's no reason for it. There's an awful lot of things that don't require money to mandate and guarantee that people will come back to court, because that's really what the bail is intended to do. Now clearly it's important also to bear in mind that it's to protect society, but money doesn't necessarily do that. So in my opinion, excessive bail is really a hardship and a burden on those that can least afford to do so.
Hi, I'm Joyce Mason, State Representative of Illinois' 61st District. We're here today talking about excessive bail. There's a real problem in Illinois that we need to address. The excessive bail problem is keeping people incarcerated before they're convicted of a crime. It's tantamount to punishing people for something they haven't been convicted of, but it's also punishing people for being poor. So when someone doesn't have the means to post bail, they sit in jail for a very long time just waiting for their day in court. We have to stop punishing people for their economic status. It's really important that we find another way to be able to ensure that people return to court, to ensure that they have a speedy trial and their day in court. What we're seeing right now is not only a tragedy because people need to continue their lives and take care of their families and keep their jobs while they're awaiting trial, but also for Illinois and for Lake County, it's costing us a whole lot of money to keep people sitting in jail. So it's the right thing to do, but also it's the fiscally responsible thing to do and the socially responsible thing to do, because everyone deserves to be able to live their lives, wait for their day in court, have their say and their representation, and not have their lives ruined due to not being able to post bail.
First, I would like to thank Anthony McIntyre and Lake County Board Chairman Sandy Hart and Vice Chairman Mary Ross Cunningham for putting this event together. I think excessive bail, we learned about the 8th Amendment in school, but what I didn't know is that as a person coming into the jail didn't have to have a bail. So the awareness, bringing this to the community is vital and it's important. Too often we think we know how to maneuver the criminal justice system and we don't. So I always thought, and it was my ignorance, I always thought if you came into jail with a felony, being charged with a felony, that you had to have a con. So thank you to everyone that brought the awareness, the panel. It was very excellent.